It's 1 o'clock. Bob and Dan and Donovan doing a reunion show out here in Atlanta, the site of Super Bowl 53. We're on Radio Row. Last night I feel like the ticket guys were a little bit surprised at the media's reaction to a clown at Media Day, because I think ticket guys are not at all fazed by seeing a guy walking around performing his regular job in normal fashion but wearing a clown suit.
Right.
Like, you've seen that tons over the years. It's no big deal.
I've seen Batman do it.
Yeah, but the rest of the media, apparently, if you work for a TV station in Boston or Tennessee or whatever, that's an oddity. So you're very, very excited. So, yes, there's a lot of stuff on the Twitter about it. It seems to be a big deal, but apparently it's also gone to mainstream news sources like newspapers and television stations across the land.
It's tough to describe what a big deal you were, and we'll have plenty of audio on this as time goes on from Dan's perspective, but, man, you were on several continents. There's no question, because you were talking to foreign dudes constantly.
Austria for sure.
Austria for sure.
Dumb and Dumber line.
Denmark, Qatar,
Italy
for sure. I mean, it just kept going and going, and then all the local markets in the U.S. It was
CNN.
You were on fire. Hey, you talked to the Atlanta Hawks.
Oh, that's right. They're social media guy.
Yeah,
we were doing something with them.
Need to check on that, don't I? Okay.
I'm on someone's Snapchat feed. I don't know if you had that, Jake, but somebody was putting puppy ears and a tongue hanging out of my mouth and all that with our however they do that. So I was interviewed for a 2-minute thing on a Snapchat thing. All right, so Jake is the guy who kind of looked across the land and tried to find as much as he could on this story.
Followed hashtag Super Bowl clown or whatever he did.
So the first one I saw was when NFL Network and BattleBots host Chris Rose was bringing it back from break. They were doing something on the NFL Network last night where I think they were like simulcasting with CBS Sports Network. Their production was a disaster. There was several times where you could, like, a player was talking to Dion, but they didn't have the camera on him. But this one they nailed. As they were coming back from break and they were panning across the crowd, they found you.
Rams media session here on opening night, fueled by Gatorade. We are back inside of State Farm Arena. Hey, you clown! Over there, look, over there. No, over there to your right. There's a goat.
So then they show the Brady. There's several people wearing Brady jerseys and goat masks.
Okay.
But
Jim Brewer.
the camera stayed on you. No. Don't be smirch, goat boy. The camera stayed on you for a good 4 or 5 seconds when he just yelled out.
We are back inside of State Farm Arena. Hey, you clown! Hey, you clown!
From NFL Network. This one is one I actually just saw online. This is a CNN reporter who was there to give the sights and sound of the real circus.
But, opening night used to be just called Media Day, but it's turned into this big primetime event. The Rams and Patriots meeting with over 2,000 media members from all over the world last night. And as always, it was quite the scene. There was a clown. There were sombreros. There were fans in the stands wearing goat masks.
There was a clown. There were sombreros. You're right in there with Univision.
Right, I'm right up ahead of him.
Maybe you should have been
I'm the lead story.
Maybe you should have been a clown in a sombrero.
And boy, was nobody had to be more upset last night than the reporters from Univision.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me?
This is their turf.
This is every year. We've made this clear.
Right.
This is from this morning's CBS Morning Show. So whatever they call that, it's, seen all over the land. CBS This Morning. And they had Dana Jacobson.
We saw her.
You may remember her from the time whenever...
Did you see her last night?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she had an Oprah jeans on last night, boy.
Remember whenever she was...
She's a bigger girl. She lost some weight, and boy, those things were tight.
She, one time at the Mike and Mike roast, she downed like half a bottle of Grey Goose and yelled F touchdown Jesus when she was making fun of Notre Dame.
That's right.
Wow.
She got suspended. She's since turned
At
it
a
around.
roast?
Yeah.
You got suspended for something you did at a roast. Okay.
This is from CBS This Morning, so they have her on the scene, and the regular host throws it out to her.
36 players on New England have Super Bowl experience. That's more than half the team. The Rams, just 4. And while that may be a factor come Sunday and the game, well, you can't quite prepare the players when it comes to media night. Clowns, massive golden gloves.
Hey, got mentioned first again.
Clowns.
Every time.
Wow.
It doesn't matter what else there is.
All right, we're leading with the clown, okay?
Yeah.
Clowns.
Should we lead with the sombrero or the clown?
People love clowns.
We've seen
Clowns.
sombreros before.
And this is a...
Plus, in this political climate.
This is the only cut that I have that actually features Dan speaking. It comes to us from WDEF 12 News in Chattanooga. The first half of the report, they're actually talking to players and asking them the wacky question of, hey, would you ever want to be an NFL referee? So that's how the first half goes, and they throw it over to a lady who's doing the reporting, and she caught up with Dan to ask him what the genesis of this bit was.
I didn't see any officials here at Super Bowl Media Day, but there were a lot of crazy people around here, and our own Angela Morian fit right in.
Controversies, career stats, and championship predictions. They've all been talked about here tonight. The Rams and Patriots have had to endure media scrums all night, and some of the media weren't dressed in usual on-air attire.
We got J.B. Smoove over here, and you got Gilbert Gottfried over here, right? And now a clown. Now, I have been interviewed by NFL security asking what this is all about as well. I made a bet.
Are you trying to get digits, or...
You could see he had a different game.
What's up, girl?
For
Yeah.
the girl reporters.
Yeah.
You could see he put just a little more effort into it and sent out the vibe.
I
That's the
withstood the
red
assault
cloud
of,
right there.
of security right there.
Yeah, you don't you don't end up hooking up with the reporter if you don't throw out the vibe. Ask Romo.
Okay.
Oh.
Now, I have been interviewed by NFL security asking what this is all about as well. I made a bet. That Jason Witten would be hired on as the head coach at Tennessee, and then he was not.
For the young Rams team, Media Day
Okay,
might
yeah,
be
that's
even
pretty
more
much it.
taxing than getting ready for the Super Bowl.
Why don't you talk about that?
They're both of them, you know? Like, listen at the beginning whenever he throws it to her.
Crazy people around here, and our own Angela Morian fit right in.
She's a crazy one as well.
But what
Angela.
You're sitting at home in Chattanooga thinking, so a guy made a bet on Witten becoming the head coach at Tennessee.
Made no sense.
And now he's headed
No
to the
sense.
Super, like, so confusing.
So in our few moments where we actually had some downtime between Dan's interviews, we're constantly spitballing what's the new reasons on why he had to be in the clown outfit, and we were running low fast. We're like,
This would have been a good way to spend our afternoon yesterday thinking of reasons, but
we didn't know.
Yeah, I didn't
We
know.
didn't know we were going to need them. Edifice.
Well, that is what we have, and tomorrow we have
Oh,
it from
okay.
the clown's perspective.
Clowns.
And
what did the does anybody have handy that New Jersey thing?
The Jay Lombardo story?
Yeah, because that was a thing that Gordo retweeted,
Yeah.
and that helps it get fire.
Yes.
Jay Lombardo,
yeah,
the clothier.
You have it?
yeah, I mean, you
What's
just go
what's
ahead.
the quote in there? It's
In the NewJersey.com thing?
Super Bowl opening night has always been a proverbial circus, and on Monday, a clown reporter even made an appearance. Cue all of the jokes about fake news and the current state of journalism, but the clown in question was actually three-time Marconi Award-winning sportscaster Dan McDowell of 1310 The Ticket in Dallas.
wow, that really paints me.
Yeah.
Like I won 3 Marconis.
I think the musers enjoyed that
The
word.
dynasty.
I'm the one who won 3 Marconis. You're welcome, guys. You're welcome, musers.
McDowell's unusual but fitting get-up for Monday night's event actually has an inspiring backstory.
Oh no.
That's where we get to tomorrow. Do you want me to read it now?
Yeah, go on.
From Dan, quote, "This was a bet I had with my dad. It was one of his last wishes, and before he died, he always challenged me to do something crazy out here. He'd see Media Day, and I promised him that I would. He actually died, and that's why we're messing around this year. Every year, we'd be at NFL Media Day, and my dad would watch on TV to try to see us."
How did they believe that? He thought that was a touchy stuff.
The audio is worse.
Now I feel like a jerk.
The audio is worse because the guy, you can hear the reporter's response. He doesn't print his responses in the story, but in his story, he's like, "Oh man, I'm sorry. That's actually a really touching story."
No, it's not.
I'm charging you with being the jerk because you are the one who told me to say that. I didn't want to do it.
Okay, well.
Will you accept that?
Put that on my ledger, I guess. That's fine. All right, it's 110. It's Sports Radio 1310. The ticket. Like, your story, as you're trying to say it to him, even you know it sounds ridiculous because first...
Yeah, it didn't make sense.
First
Why would I do that?
You had a bet with your dad, but then he's on his deathbed, and then,
Right,
he's watching Media Day every year.
and he's waiting on you. He's waiting to see what you're going to do. Like, is it the clown year? Is it the clown year?
And I waited till he died to do it.
So he did see it.
His dad is watching from above to watch Media Day.
What a horrible,
Well, maybe not.
horrible story.
What a waste of...
He never watched the game. He loved Media
Like,
Day.
you have so many things you can try to have your son accomplish.
What a waste of being omnipresent is that you go to Super Bowl Media Day.
And he's looking down with his wings, talking about, great job, son. You finally done it.
Get in front of JB Smooth. Cut through there.
All right, we'll talk to an irate Andy Benoit next.